what we learned was the companies that were focused on the small little details consistently over long periods of time always won. It's the one thing that Gary Keller talks about. The small and simple things over and over and over and over obsessively is what gets you the wins. It's not looking for the big gold nugget. It's finding the tiny little flecks of dust and adding them up over time. And you'll come to recognize that it's not about your next transaction that makes you 3 grand. It's about your next relationship that will make you 100 grand a year in referrals, or the next agent you recruit that you know based on your numbers will net you $20,000 a year as long as they stay in your world. And taking it even further, it's about your company being the vehicle that allows those that are inside your company to live and lead the life of their dreams, check things off their vision board, replace those items with bigger visions, bigger goals, and help them on a daily, weekly, monthly, consistent basis do the activities necessary to achieve at a high level. So we all know that we can set the goal, but it's another thing to train to that goal. And so we would offer weekly training on Mondays topically, and then Wednesdays would be the dialogue that goes around with the topic. So if Monday talks about the listing presentation, Wednesday we would meet for an hour to role play the listing presentation. And we would actually set up scenarios where an agent is on a listing presentation talking to a seller, and then we'd have another agent pretend like they're the seller, and we would practice overcoming negotiation strategies, overcoming rebuttals and objection handling techniques. And over time, those agents that were nervous to go on appointments or nervous to make calls or nervous to knock doors or nervous to have open houses started to have more confidence. So the agent that said, I want to sell 24 homes, they then would go even further to say, out of those 24 homes, I want a third to be internet leads that the company generates to me. I want a third to be open houses, and I want a third to be my CrossFit box that I go to. They would be able to set a goal based on the numbers of sales they want to have and where those sales are actually going to come from. And all of us have heard of the old cliche, the 80-20 rule, where 20% of your input typically gets you 80% of the output. That is how we would set up our goals based on the last 12 months data. So if I knew that an agent spent 30% of their time in their CrossFit gym, but 80% of the deals came from their CrossFit gym, then our goal the following year would be that they spent more time working that CrossFit network. And I would propose that you look at where a majority of your deals came from in the last 12 months and put 70% of your time towards that lead source, and then take 30% of your time and spread it across your other top 3 lead sources or new lead sources you've never tried before.